Welcome back, everyone. Proton Gaming going up against That Stark. That Stark coming off a 3-0, Tony, where they looked extremely good, but their run in extreme danger right now. This Proton roster has been looking phenomenal, having I think a dark horse finish at Charlotte, where they made so many upsets, beat that Shopify Rebellion team, and they're going to try to keep that momentum moving forward into the Open Series.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you 100%. I mean, That's Dark came out with a great 3-0, but they're not going up the same against the same competition as Proton Gaming. Proton Gaming, one of the two teams, I think it was them and Native White, that were like the two teams of the entire tournament. They run through the open bracket, making it deep into bracket play. They got top 12, which was phenomenal. Proton Gaming, they have a specific way they want to play Halo, which is all team-based. You know, nothing about individual shiners, just simply players that want to win games and make game-winning plays. That's exactly what they do. Starting off 1-0 right now, mastering the sandbox immediately, or controlling the sandbox immediately. Now Proton Gaming pushing up once again to move in for their second flagpole.
Hey, Common, he's got a sniper and a 36 bullet secondary, just not the 36 bullet gun you're used to seeing. That AR sniper combination, a very interesting one, because he's going to try to push forward. Piles that last player alive, and you're starting to see the spawns from That Stark spawning all the way at that sniper court, and breaking shots trying to do so much damage. But Piles able to stay alive, and that might stunt this flag for now, probably buying enough time for his team to at least fight for this flag.
Hey, don't sleep on that combo, man. The assault rifle is nasty. I was actually streaming earlier today, and I ended up with an assault rifle, sniper rifle combo on accident, and I literally cross-mapped the one-shot player with an assault rifle. So, hey, it has some range to it. It's deadly. The assault rifle in this game is absolutely amazing, and so is this pull coming out of That's Dark, but a bit of a fumble. Rooski's gonna lead to Piles, not able to turn the corner. Bid Teach is able to go right after breaking shot with that heat wave, but that flag is still moving forward.
Flag taken.
Trying to get this damage down on Common, but Common, little left, little right, able to dodge those bullets, and he's leading this charge, trying to get towards this flag and get the return for his team. And look at that, man, Common is like a one-man army going through there, and he's gonna keep putting this damage down. Bid getting hurt down, but Common staying alive. This has been a phenomenal life from Common, and it's probably going to lead towards a flag return and potentially a counter cap. Common looking to get one more kill before he was comfortable running that flag, and a little unique situation, Tony, because Common had such a great position to potentially run a flag, but the numbers weren't quite there. Now he's rotated all the way back, and he's done basically a 360 around this map. You can make a full circle with how Common has played this life.
It's all about that awareness, understanding where you're at timing-wise, numbers-wise, and Common having an advanced understanding of it. One of the reasons why he's 9-1 right now as far as his score line, and still applying pressure onto That's Dark base. That's Dark ends up falling 2 players. Common down to 1 shot, doing everything he can to stay alive while reinforcements are coming up. That's another wipe here, and Proton Gaming have now created a hole in the defense of That's Dark for them to simply push through. The flank is in from Common, gets himself yet another assist. This is about to be a flag run if they can just take down 1 player. Common going a bit early, baiting Piles out, goes right back in. This is masterfully done by Proton Gaming.
Hey, so you know how we have dog years? I think we need to have Halo years. Every minute of your life is like 10 years of human life. Common's like reaching 60 years old. He was retirement age by the time he was taken out right there. Just staying alive for so long and constantly having influence on the map can make all of the difference when it comes to these flag runs, when it comes to opportunities, and breaking shot, getting a step closer to getting this second flag in. No one from That's Dark there to stop him, and Proton's gonna put up a 2-0 lead.
With That's Dark having the opportunity to maybe push up over the down members of Proton Gaming, they had to make something happen here as Parzelli takes himself a knee shot. Name ends up going down due to a headshot, breaking shot going off with the sniper rifle, and nobody able to clear the long haul side, mainly because of this man on screen and breaking shot. And now the rest of his team are able to push up over towards the training side, and they're doing so comfortably. Common ends up getting 1. Looks like the second one is gonna fall as well, almost able to body shot the third, and just like that, the rest of Proton Gaming advanced forward. But where did Name come from?
Haynes gonna back off down. This is going to be an important fight. Common's heat wave just keeps going astray. Not going to be able to get that damage in. It's a beatdown at top. Sword with that overshield coming up. It's going to be an all-out fight, and that Stark is going to be able to get those rockets away. Haynes doing his best to play in enemy territory, but Parzelli is flying forward, trying to get a pull with these rockets.
Rocket not gonna be enough to take down breaking shot right there, and that has to be frustrating, especially when Posey is clearing out this base with the overshield. Rockets do not get past that repulse. Posey and Haynes with the back-to-back kills. Nades are being left down, denying access to the cut side, and finally able to find the back smack, the back shot. There we go. Took a little bit, but Posey, the veteran, now in the Air Force, the Halo veteran, showing off, absolutely clearing out that Stark out of the base. There should be 2 more members that they have to deal with, but his duo does end up going down.
And creeping through into the Mauler pose. He's going to get great shots down and using the opponent's drop shield to take the fight against Bid. He'll leave it for his teammates. A lot of confidence in that play, and now suddenly that's Dark in a dark position. All of them coming off respawn as Proton Gaming just surge on forward. Haynes staying alive, getting forward, and Proton playing their life incredibly well right here, right? They're putting an immense amount of pressure down, but they're not getting traded out as quickly as that Stark would like. And in fact, it's been Haynes who's been able to stay alive time and time again. That's allowed pressure through to this flag.
All the way down to one shot through the needle pit, through the shotgun side of the map, now over towards the base. And this is what you young people call living your best life, because Haynes definitely living his, as Common able to get away with that sniper rifle, goes right after his former teammate. The flag still trying to move forward, ends up getting caught over toward the first BR side. Common lining it up, just barely missing that shot, breaking shot. Able to inch that flag forward, but they need to secure these kills before they push up, and that's exactly what Proton Gaming are doing. Now that the kills are coming in, that flag gets relayed just a little bit closer and closer towards that long haul side, but eventually that's Dark started to win their pivotal battles.
Okay, I was like, name what a big fight, but Haynes gets 3, and that's going to keep this flag alive for now. And well, they just keep running into his BR. You can't challenge this man. Killing spree for Haynes as he starts to play forward. Someone needs to take care of him. Finally, Bid gets the kill, but is it too late? Posey punching the 3rd flag in.
And we kind of talked about this a little bit in the last series, is sometimes you have to go down in order to put your team at an advantage. So, you want to play your life, you want to do everything you can to stay alive, but right there you saw Proton Gaming, having to give up a life or 2 to allow Haynes to get that triple kill, to allow Haynes, the Proton to move that flag forward. I'm about it. Common and Haynes now coming through. Common still having a little bit of overshield left. That's Dark finding himself 3 down, and Common finds himself a flag, a 20 bomb already with 8 assists, and now doing the objective work. This man does it all.
Piles is at least able to get a trade, but look at the position from that Stark, low and away from this flag. It's going to be tough for them to catch up, and I don't think they can, as Haynes puts another to the respawn screen. It's one player who gets taken down from breaking shot, and that's going to be a 4th flag that's punched in for this Proton Gaming squad. A phenomenal game thus far, and it's really the art of staying alive in the opponent's territory that's made the big difference for this team.
And Haynes, the quote-unquote retired player, he said he's just filling in for his old roster. He insists that he's still retired right now, but it seems like he hasn't skipped a beat. 19 kills, 8 assists to go along with it. We're on board with Parzelli. He goes down for the 18th time this game, really struggling here on the Pit remake of Empyrean. Big Teacher's able to deal with Common. So that's Dark finally able to heat up just a little bit, catch a little fire. Oh, that's the reason why that's now it's a 5v4. I was confused. I was wondering why they were heating up.
Hey, shout out to Cena. There's 8 players in the lobby and leaving right away. Shouldn't have much of an impact on this game, but oh no, close your lobbies, please.
Or don't.
Posey. Yeah, don't. Yeah,
About to join right now. They need help. That Stark need help. I'm just saying, bro. The 5th flag is coming in.
How many players does that Dark need to beat this Proton Gaming squad? In 1, 2, maybe 3? We'll have to see as Common gets the shots down. This flag one step closer. Bid tries to get the stop, but nothing can stop that flag from going in.
Common making super rare plays, putting up a 22 bomb in that game number 1 and setting the tone for the series. Proton Gaming picking up exactly where they left off over at Charlotte with that big top 12 finish and taking game number 1 against 2 of their former teammates and against the rest of That's Dark.
Game 2, here we go. I mean, how do you bounce back, right, Tony? At least it's a Slayer, right? Slayer a little bit easier to stay blow for blow with, but Proton Gaming 5-0, just having their way in that game, and we really didn't see much offensive work from that start the entire game. I don't feel like there was one potential flag grab that looked like it could have gone it. Maybe one, but we saw. I think it was like when Common made that big play to get behind everyone. I think that was a real change in the game, but. Man, that's just a trouncing throughout that entire game.
I've always been impressed with watching Chris Common and the way he's able to implement a system, and no matter what team he's playing with, whether it's Oxygen Esports or now Proton Gaming, and able to instill a unselfish and winning mindset onto the team. And with a team that's this coordinated and with this type of goal orientation, like they can beat honestly almost anybody in the league. They come in with the unselfish play. They come in flying at you. They're like we kind of said before. They're not afraid to give up 1 or 2 lives to do maximum damage and make sure that they keep their numbers by putting their opponents 3 or 4 down. I love the way that they play Halo, and sometimes it gets a little muddy. Sometimes it gets a little sloppy, but when that happens, it throws the opponents off guard. So a 5-0 in that Empyrean capture the flag, and now we're going to see if their Slayer can match that objective efficiency. We're here on Aquarius, one of the most punishing maps in Halo Infinite. Small, BR heavy, maybe a couple of thrusts in the active camo, but this map is really played and won through your BR play.
BR play, the thrust always going to be a little handy for some of these individual fights, but it's all about getting that team shot in. Haynes getting a little fancy with his footwork over on that ledge, staying up high for just a bit longer, and already Proton finding a couple kills, and with the high ground camouflage for Haynes, but he needs to survive. Bid doing a lot of damage, but Haynes able to wrap that corner.
Haynes chasing down that player with the camouflage, goes in for the challenge onto Parzelli, and the bait and switch comes in. Common and breaking shot able to double push through the P side of the map. That allows Haynes to just influence these spawns. Fires off 1 shot into name, just 1 singular shot into the rotating name, and now the 4 players of That's Dark trapped over toward the blue base. The collapse is coming in quick. Proton, you cannot be trapped against Proton Gaming. They will surround you. They will push you. You better break out right off a spawn. Otherwise, this is exactly what will happen.
It's almost like we're seeing a blue lasso on the map from the top down. Look, 4 players in a circle, just constantly circling around their prey, eventually able to tie themselves around that leg. And while they get a smooth takedown on that start, you're going to start to see a large separation on this scoreboard now. As you're seeing a little bit more confidence, breaking shot with that killing spree. All the players from that start having to rotate towards P1, and Proton Gaming setting themselves up for another team wipe.
That start rotating over toward the P side right off a spawn. Love the play, but eventually you do have to contest. You do have to start shooting back. And right now, that's where That's Dark are struggling. Proton Gaming just getting free shots everywhere onto That's Dark. Once again, That's Dark spawning up over toward the blue side. And once again, you have multiple members of Proton Gaming putting in damage. Breaking shot, then put 2 different players 1 shot before eventually going down. But That's Dark finally able to weather the storm. Finally able to plant their feet.
This is the response that you're looking for, right? You take down the camo player just in time. You get a couple kills going in your favor, and you work for that top control. That's Dark have a real opportunity to start to tighten up this game, but they have to take care of the players up high. And while Haynes, he leaves a little something left over for Piles, able to get those kills, and Proton Gaming, they recover just as quickly as they are put into a tough spot.
What did he leave? A pile of ashes? That's what That's Dark are right now. My gosh. Everything going in favor of Proton Gaming. Love the big kill by Name. Name somehow throughout this push, throughout the aggressiveness that's coming out of Proton Gaming, Name somehow still 6-3 and able to slow them down just a bit. As you see Name start to push up toward the utility side. Common catches Bid, teaches Common now moving in for the double, excuse me, a triple. He wants the overkill, and it's gonna be a back smack, juking Parzelli out of his shoes, Allen Iverson style, getting himself the back smack, and all of that momentum that That's Dark was starting to build has been down to 0. Common, I said it before, the man making super rare plays.
Chris Common's not stopping anytime soon either. Gets the 5th for the killing spree as he continues his way forward. Everyone is a target behind this man, and That's Dark, I think, seeing the writing on the wall. The white flags might come out soon enough. It's so deflating when you have a player like Common running into you, constantly getting kill after kill.
The entire team of That's Dark has 21 kills as a unit. Common 16-6 by himself, trying to outslay the opposition as a solo dolo as Piles ends up going down. Name forced to back all the way down over toward the Dynamo side, and multiple members of That's Dark once again trying to find the exit, trying to find any way to alleviate this pressure that is coming left and right here for Proton Gaming. But Proton Gaming keep flying at him, and That's Dark keep going down. Parzelli with the camouflage. Hopefully he can make a play with it.
Well, just looking for anyone to take down. Breaking Shot's going to be the first player of choice, but Haynes was able to get 2. Haynes barely taken down. Breaking Shot gets the trade. They'll take the camo down before any damage, any real damage can be done. And Proton just constantly staying on top of each other. And Name's going to come into a rude surprise as another 2 players wrap that corner right when he gets into that fight. And suddenly these players find themselves more and more isolated on this map. Proton Gaming running as a pack and finding stragglers that they can just completely devour.
41-29. Just 9 more kills needed for Proton Gaming, and I don't want to count That's Dark out of it just yet, but Proton Gaming continue to put points on the board. Mid teaches from the P side over towards the mid, gets himself a couple of thrusts, so that should work, and he even has the spawning players here. So now we're gonna see a little bit of a double push over toward the car side, but that dynamo grenade comes in. The stick gonna go right back out from Mid teaches, so big plays are happening. Proton Gaming find himself 3 down. It's still a 10-kill game, but don't sleep when it's dark.
He's trying to knock on the door through the bottom mid. No one expects it. Piles heads to the respawn screen, and now just 1 team wipe away from getting this game to victory. It really feels like there's nothing that Stark's been able to do to keep up with this team, and just a matter of time before Proton Gaming finds those final kills. I guess the big question is, does Common hit that 20 kill barrier and really just cement himself as the MVP of game 2?
2 kills coming out of Proton Gaming. Name might have been able to get away with the camouflage, but there ain't much you can do with a lead like that. That's going to be 2-0 start coming out of Proton Gaming. 1 game away from pulling off the same sweep that That's Dark handed into Lies in the previous round, but it gets harder and harder as you get deeper and deeper within the tournament. Proton Gaming are here.
You know, Common got 19 kills, but on the other side, Haynes had 16 assists. Tony, he had a triple-double going on his side. Love to see that from him. And it's just, this team is well-oiled right now. I feel like Proton has been playing by their book. They've made up how they like to play Halo, and it's been a defined system that's kept them solid throughout every tournament that we've seen. I mean, I think this is why they saw such great success at Charlotte, is that this is a team that just knows what they want to do. They know how to play each other. They have each other's mind ingrained inside each other, and it feels like they're not ever making separate, isolated plays. Everything is a unit play between them, and it's going to make Recharge Strongholds Recharge King of the Hill that much harder for this That's Dark squad.
I'm looking at the stats, and you were 100% right. This man dropped 10 kills, a 6.3 KDA, 16 assists. My man's retired over here, but he's doing it all. Kills, assists, has a shirt that doesn't crinkle at the neck. Haynes all over the place here and looking to pull off the 3-0 sweep as Proton Gaming recharge. King of the Hill might be the final time we see That's Dark. What can That's Dark do against this overwhelming pressure that Proton Gaming continue to attack them with?
They have to use counterattacks, right? They have to play solid defensive Halo where they always have each other's help and then are able to turn this aggression that Proton Gaming is throwing down and counterattack with it, right? It's so often what I've noticed in the last few months at Halo is it's how you are able to withstand pressure as a unit. It's not necessarily how you collapse, how you play aggressively, but how you handle pressure that determines who the best teams are. And so far, Proton Gaming has just been able to go uncontested throughout this game, but Parzelli can make the difference with the shock rifle, but Posey shuts him right down.
Well, I'll be honest, I was liking Parzelli's strategy against Proton Gaming's offense. Grab yourself a shock rifle and go off with it. A 3-1 start, even an assist to go along with it for Parzelli. But he ends up losing the shock rifle, and does that mean that That's Dark will lose that momentum that they were building up? Apparently not. Naaman Parzelli somehow able to clear out the seaside. The hill being manned by Parzelli. Proton Gaming end up going 3 down, and that's going to be some more points on the board here for That's Dark. They're not giving up easily.
Well, the spawns are in the favor of That's Dark right now, right? Name some important player. Keep the C spawns, prevent them from pushing up from that battery side, but Proton Gaming throw 2 players into tower, and now they're going to start contesting for C. It's going to be up to Parzelli trying to get behind these players, but Common's making himself such a hard kill. Eventually the nade gets it, but it's not before the job is done. Spawns have flipped, and now That's Dark's going to have to fight through the map to get towards this hill.
Proton Gaming have a very simple strategy. Do as much damage as possible and trust your teammates to finish the rest. Sometimes they'll switch out, sometimes they'll go down, but the amount of damage they do, they force you to either back down or go down. That's Dark though, answer right back. As I say that, breaking shot finds the kill with the commando. I thought they nerfed that thing.
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing players complain, the commando's not as good anymore. I don't know. Breaking shot just absolutely demolished the player. He's getting a second one. Name goes down as well. The commando looking pre-patch in his hands.
The progression on this hill was pretty much neck and neck between both of these teams. Haynes tried to get some easy points here, had no idea that Bid Teaches was coming in for the flank. Bid Teaches now gonna make his way toward the tower side. Posey trying to get out of that situation alive, and you know, as much as we kind of talked about his performance in the first game, or sorry, excuse me, the second game, you know, Common having a little bit of a slower start, 1-5, but I love the 7 assist. I honestly, if I'm taking that scoreline. How do you feel about Common's play so far from what you've seen in this hill number 1?
It's very reminiscent of what we saw from Haynes in game 2, where Haynes, he was like 4-13 to start the game, or 4, something like that, like 4-8. But then he eventually just starts racking up the assists, and eventually assists become kills, right? In the beginning kills, they don't really matter as much. As long as you're getting damage downrange, you'll be fine. But that start getting them 4 down. Suddenly this first hill looks more and more likely to go towards this red squad. And Proton Gaming, it's going to be a struggle to break out of A in time to contest this hill.
They continue to feed Parzelli that shock rifle. I thought he was about to go off, but eventually does end up going down. Bid Teaches somehow coming up with a double kill and a couple of grenades to try to slow down Common from trying to finish off this hill. Common and Proton Gaming are trying to keep That's Dark out. Common coming out of nowhere with the shock rifle, tries to grapple the camo back, but a little bit of a misplay goes right towards the middle of the map, ends up being easy fodder for Name and That's Dark. And I don't even know what happened to that camouflage after Common wasn't able to get away with it.
Yeah, I'm curious as to what happened as well. I didn't catch my eye on it, but one thing that I am catching my eye on is how this hill is more and more likely going to go to Proton Gaming. It's one last desperate push from That's Dark. Pyle tried to get the final kill on Posey, but Posey shuts them all down. Haynes hits the rotation. That's Dark going 4 down. And suddenly their position is untenable.
Heads up play by Haynes to grapple all the way across the map and get ready for that next hill. The first one is done, but you're not done with your work. Posey able to grab a hold of that repulse. Proton Gaming locking down this whole half of the map, trapping That's Dark between the A and the back gold pipe side, which is absolutely deadly if you're trying to make it across the map towards Long Haul. Posey able to take him down one, turning right back with a beautiful, well-placed grenade that teaches off the screen, takes down Haynes. Posey sends one in the air, and the teamwork takes him down, and Proton Gaming gonna continue to push forward. Piles with the flank, but Proton Gaming still with the numbers.
Yeah, Posey able to get that kill because of that 4 down, right? The time that they are able to buy Proton Gaming because of that team wipe allowed him to go get that repulse. It's so out of the way now to go grab it, but if you can get a 4 down, you can waste the time to go get it, and that kill probably results in That's Dark not quite able to get into this hill in time. It all comes back. Every little play has influence on this game, and it all adds up to this 2-0 lead that we're seeing for Proton Gaming at the moment.
But for the first time for That's Dark, we're actually seeing a real setup going with them over toward the A side, and we know how hard it is to break that setup. So does Breaking Shot at Proton Gaming, so he's trying everything he can to get away with this camouflage. Man got the moves like Jagger, buys enough time for Common to come in for that kill. Now going to be advancing forward right over towards the A side, and as I said, that setup normally hard to break, but Proton Gaming making it look easy. They take control over towards the Whirlpool side, and now they continue to put points on the board.
Love the damage that we saw put down from Breaking Shot. Common's gonna have to try to help clean up everything. Look at his stat line: 7, 12, and 11, and it's very reminiscent of what we saw at Charlotte. He had the 5th most assists per minute, averaging 1.24 assists per minute. Only behind Gilkey, Bound, Boo Boo, Doo Suppress. That's the company you want to be, and that shows how much of an impact player Common is. Although he's not getting the most kills right now, he's making impacts on the map. But that's Dark finally able to find a response, right? That first hill in, and now this is the swing hill, right, Tony? This is the difference between whether you're gonna have a shot in this game or whether Proton's gonna finish this one out. You have to tie up the game here.
Ben Teacher doing everything he can to stay alive over toward the C side. Down to one shot, still fighting, but Common refuses to go down. Even Parzelli struggling. By the time Parzelli's able to take down Common, he still gets the melee off to put them down to one shot, which once again slows down That's Dark and doesn't allow That's Dark to compete with the tempo that Proton Gaming are simply playing at. Name trying to get back into the fight. Parzelli, excellent shots over toward the back. See, problem is that Breaking Shot has even better ones. Common able to take down Bid Teaches. Too quickly going down for That's Dark, and although they find themselves in the hill, they also find themselves in the reticles of Proton Gaming.
Common, important player right here, right, has this long sight line to try to take these players out of spawn, right out of their spawn, but buys enough time for his camo player to get away. Breaking Shot needs to stay alive. Breaking Shot's in trouble. Breaking Shot goes down. Parzelli able to stay alive. It's up to Haynes to stop the push. Piles coming through, but Posey comes from behind, and now this hill is all but guaranteed for Proton Gaming. They have a 2-hill lead going into this Whirlpool Hill, and this is such a tough hill to break for either squad. It's going to be very intense on this fight, and it's going to come down to who can control the A spawns.
I'll tell you, if I'm Proton Gaming and you put yourself in this position, 3-1, 1:34, I swear I'm taking that disrupt and I'm bringing it to top tower, and I'm just gonna keep shooting that bad so that Proton, so that That's Dark never get a chance to touch that hill. That disruptor over the top tower is literally one of the most dangerous strategies that's in the game. Common trying to defend the tower side, ends up getting himself a huge stick onto his former teammate. Parzelli with the cross map shots, watching the cross perfectly. Very important player is Parzelli, and Proton Gaming aware of that. That's why they are raining down nades, and luckily Name is able to switch right out with them, and he trades out his life there. So gold side of the map still going to That's Dark.
You talked about it, Tony. He did it. He's at top tower.
I'm telling you, bro, it's a real strategy. It's tough.
It's frustrating. You just can't get in this hill. And now if I'm Proton, I'm thinking about, man, I don't think I get in this hill. I stay out. We just play for time. You play for slays. That's Dark trying to break out these A spawns. They have to take care of Breaking Shot. Breaking shot leaves, knowing that the pressure is coming. It's gonna flip out these spawns, but Proton Gaming still have the numbers to access this hill right away. With camouflage coming up,
They're still doing it. Breaking shot still in tower with the disruptor. He's still breaking shot is in tower with the disruptor. They're still doing this strat. I'm telling you, bro. He been watching my stream. They've been
that's
watching
where he
my
got
stream.
it from, for sure. That's where he got it from. It's the Tony special. Keeping him out of the hill. The disruptor pistol, so powerful on this hill. It literally is like a power weapon in this situation, right? You have to keep track of it. As Haynes inside the hill at this camouflage bid is going to be able to take him down. And that's one thing I think Proton Gaming, the only mistake I think they've made during this match is playing this hill. I think you play time right here. And they probably put like 30-ish seconds on this hill. If they were just out of that hill for those 30 seconds, we'd see only 15 seconds of game time for that start to get 2 hills in this situation.
Yeah, and even if they do end up taking this hill, that bottom mid is even easier to defend. So now we see the disruptor plays coming back in once again. It's Common that has it. I'm telling you, bro. And now he's doing it from the battery side. I've actually never done it from the battery side before. And at this point, they had to be playing time. Like you said, 29 seconds on the clock. Even if that Stark end up taking it, you still have the opportunity to zone them out over toward the middle hill, which is even harder to take than this Whirlpool side. So no matter what, Proton Gaming have a huge advantage whether they play the clock or the timer.
I'm Common right here. I'm getting my disruptor pistol back into it. Now it's the shock rifle, Tony. Now it's the shock rifle that's doing the damage. Oh no, they just can't stay safe. It's about equal time, right? Maybe like 10-ish more seconds for Proton to take this hill. So they're gonna try to get it on the hill time itself. Breaking shot gets the kill. That's dark. No way in. And it's the disruptor and shock rifle that make the difference at the end of the game. And we saw what, like 4 kills in that hill between those 2 weapons.
And the funny part is, actually, today I actually had the disruptor and the shock rifle, and that's an even more dangerous combination. You shock them once they go to the disruptor. But the funny part is that it's not even just the kills that you get with that disruptor, not even the kills that you get with the shock rifle by going for that chain reaction. For those of you guys who don't know, if you shoot that King of the Hill pad or any weapon that's on the ground, it will bounce off of that metal and find the nearest Spartan to do that chain reaction damage. It's not even just about the kills that you get. It's the damage that player is taking that forces him to simply get out of the hill. The damage that he's taking that allows your teammates to come in and get those cleanups. Like, that's valuable time that you're not getting, and there's also valuable time that you're buying for the rest of your teammates to be able to push up and ultimately clear them out. It's the 4 kills are nice, but I bet you what's even more impactful is the damage that you're able to do. I do the strat all the time. I absolutely love it, and love to see it being put into tournament play as well.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you called it right away, Tony. You saw how powerful it was, because that Stark was looking as if they were going to get that hill quickly, but then it all dissipated at once. Once we saw those kills coming in the feed, it made all the difference in that game. And now we're going to go continuing on in that bracket. But before we get to our next